Hey, what's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Just doing a quick video, um, primarily in response to a young lady named Kay Settles. She asked me a question about what got me into doing the notary slash loan closings, and in short fashion, I always wanted to be a notary. When I was growing up, I would see notary signs all in different neighborhoods, and to be honest with you, primarily in non-black neighborhoods. In the black people neighborhood where I grew up, nobody was being a notary public. You always had to go outside your neighborhood to get official documents signed, and all I knew was that these notary publics got paid to sign papers, to watch you sign papers, and then they sign them, and then they put a stamp on it, and people paid them. And I was like, I think I could do that, And I'm like, somebody come to my house and I just sit there and watch them sign and stamp, and they go about their business and give me some money. I can do that. So I never really pursued it, but I always thought about it. And my wife could tell you for years, I always talked about, yeah, I want to do this. I want to be a notary. Several years ago, I ran across a guy named Andre, I think it's Hatchett. And I learned about him through a guy named Boyce Watkins. Boyce Watkins talks about finances. He had Andre on there about different ways to make money, and one of the ways he was talking about being a notary. And I listened to him, and for whatever reason, not that the information he said was bad, I just couldn't connect with how to make the money. He was talking about it, and I was like, well, that might be specific in his area. He was talking about being an apostille. Come to find out, in Virginia, we can't really do apostille work as notaries. But I was very impressed by him because he's making money being a notary. So even to this day, I still follow him. I watch his videos. I look at, the stuff he has on YouTube, everything. And one day, 2 years ago, 2.5 now, back in April 2018, I said, you know what, I'm going to sign up to be a notary. Forget all of this, because I'm the type, I need to know what my entry point and my exit point is. And I couldn't really figure that out. And I said, sometimes you just got to dive in there and do it. And I said, what's the worst going to happen? I spent $55 to be a notary, and that's all I'm losing. So I said, let me go on to do it. Got the notary's thing, read the books from the Virginia company, from Virginia, about how to be a notary, how to do it, and all of that, notarized. Their information wasn't really that clear and concise. And then out of nowhere, I had my first notary assignment. I'm at work, came back there and said, hey, I heard you was a notary. Some people here need their documents signed. I went out there on the hood of their car, did it, made $15. I was like, okay, this is cool, making money, got it. They came to me, even though I was at work. I made $15 just signing some documents. But then I noticed on the documents, they had wording on there that I didn't quite understand, so I started researching it. What does this word mean? What does that word mean? It was like the word wit, W-I-T, the little double S sign, and and all of that. And it was some other stuff, and it was like, okay, what did he mean by title and serial number and all of that? And then I researched, found out some of that stuff is for military people, serial number, your social, sometimes for judges and all of that kind of stuff who can notarize documents. I'm like, okay, got it. I think the wit meant, like venue, you was at this place and all of that. So through the process of learning what these different terms meant, I started coming across loan closings. I'm like, okay, what is this all about? Found out, I saw this guy named Mark Wills. He has a thing called the loan signing system. And I listened to him, and I was like, I really couldn't connect with him, because I was like, look, dude, I just need to know what the heck what is this we're doing? What is this you're talking about? You can keep saying I can make $75 to $150 in an hour just by signing loan documents. Just give me the straight skinny. But everything was, hey, click here, click here, click here. This is like 2 years ago. He's changed his method up a little bit, and he's giving more information now. But in the beginning, when I first started, it was like, hey, click here after this 2-minute video and get you all pumped. And then it's like, yeah, pay $400 and some bucks. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm not about to do that. That's just me. So I stumbled across another guy named Bill Soroka, the notary coach. He was like, $25, teach everything you need to know. But before you even pay the $25, be a member with him, he had videos up there that broke it down. It's like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Oh, so this is what a loan signing looked like. I didn't know that. Got it. So that's what it means. That's what this is. That, and here's what sold me on it. When Bill said this here, he said, for every house that's out here that you see as you drive around, a notary has to be involved, because a notary has to sign the final documents in order for that deal to get done. So when I looked, as I'm over here in the parking lot getting ready to pick my son up, I'm looking, I see these houses. I'm like, I don't need all of them houses. I just need about maybe 50, 60 a month at $150 a pop. 1 a day, 2 a day. I'm good. I said, I can get with this. So I started pursuing it. Signed up. I said, okay, he's only $25 a month. He got all the training videos, this, that, and the other. I said, I can give it a shot. And once I figured out what to do, he had the different training sessions about passing the NNA test, and he broke it all down. I said, okay, I'm going to go on and give this thing a try. And I got into it. And I like it. I actually love it. Because as a notary, the number one thing people got to remember, we're providing a service. And I like serving people. And I know there's notaries out here who, they just want to get paid. They're looking for the next quick pay. Okay, who gonna pay me this? Who gonna pay me that? But when you really look at being a notary, it's about providing somebody a service because they need it. Not everybody needs McDonald's. Not everybody needs Amway or Shackley or this, that, and the other. Not everybody needs your particular Prime America product and insurance and all of that. But people do need a notary. And I said, okay, somebody getting a mortgage, they need a notary because they, without the notary, this deal doesn't get done. Okay, I can do this. I just need to figure out what's the right way to do it, what's the way I need to present myself, all of that. And that's where I go into, I'm gonna do another video about systems. That's when I started learning I had to develop a system to handle this thing. Because it's easy, but it can be difficult if you don't have the right system. So I'm gonna do a video about talking about the systems that I put in place. It's not indicative that it's indicative of me, for the way I do it. But you can do it however you want, as long as it works with you and your personality and the area that you're in and the people that you deal with, because every area is different. And just a real quick thing on systems. Case in point, all of a sudden, this is November, in September and October, there was this thing of people constantly asking me, do I need to sign my name? Their name is printed on a document. My system was like, okay, you come in here. Sometimes I put arrows on certain things, especially if it didn't have the name, but I tell them, I said, you need to sign this, that. And then all of a sudden, it was, a person would be looking at the documents and wouldn't sign it. And I'm like, okay, why aren't you signing it? With notification out the way. I said, why aren't you signing it? They're like, oh, do I need to sign this? Your name is on there. Oh, okay, I'm just checking. Okay, now they've already signed like 25, 30 pages. And then they're getting to this one halfway through the document and saying, the whole packet and saying, do I need to sign this? And I'm like, okay, why don't you? So now part of my system that I had to add into the way I'm doing things is you do need to sign wherever you see your name. I have to tell them that up front, because all of a sudden people was like, I'm not going to sign my name after they've already signed their name 25, 30 times. And now all of a sudden you're like, do I need to sign my name? Do I need the date? Well, it has the date field. So now I have to put in there part of the system of controlling the environment of what you're doing when you're doing the loan closing. Wherever you see your name, you need to sign. Wherever you see date, you do need to date. And guess what? They still ask. And it's amazing, about halfway through the document, do I need to date this? And I even asked the person, I said, well, why are you asking? Because it says the word date right there. Oh, I was just checking. I was like, and I think I said something to him. I said, did I say something to make you think you didn't need to date it? And he was like, no, I'm just checking. I'm like, you know, in my mind, I'm like, what is there to check? Because you signed 35, 40 documents already of this 185 page packet with your name and date, and now all of a sudden, boom. So to keep from getting frustrated, to get in front of it, I just, you need to sign a date. If you see your name, you need to sign a date. And sometimes when you see a blank line, you will need to sign that, even though it doesn't have your name. But if you look at the top of the document, you will see your name at the top. They just have a signature line there, and unfortunately, they didn't put your name there, but you do need to sign that. If you don't need to sign something, I will inform you that you don't need to sign something. But if I don't inform you, you do need to sign. Got it. Halfway through, do I need to sign this? But it has gotten better. So I got into this also because our people, black people, just being honest with you, a lot of them don't have regular bank accounts. They need to go to, if you need something notarized, you typically go to a bank or you find a notary. But if you don't have a bank account with that bank, they won't notarize your paperwork. And there are a lot of blacks who have money, I would say non-middle class blacks, who have Chime and Green Dot and all of this kind of stuff, and they don't, you know, they got checks and they just cash them at the check cashing place at $3 for every $100, and they paying all that money, and then they need a document signed for child support or a court case or whatever, and they can't get it notarized because the banks are like, you don't have an account here, we ain't notarizing it. So that was part of the reason why I said I wanted to be a notary, to help the black community out. Not being racist, I'm just being honest, because that is what I saw. Because businesses are started because you see a need where you're at. And where I'm at, I saw a need, and therefore I helped them out. And I actually do a lot of general notary work, just helping people with documents being signed, because I get referred and people call me and I knock it out for them. And a lot of times I don't even charge them. And sometimes they'll give me money anyway. But because I'm making great money with the loan closings, my general notary work, signing a power of attorney, sometimes I don't charge, or child support papers or court papers, stuff like that, I won't charge them. But sometimes they'll give me money anyway. So I do it primarily to help the community out. And that's what my goal was, and it's still my goal, and I still do that. But at the same time, I started making money doing the loan closings, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. So that's really how I got started. It was something I always wanted to do. I went head on and did it, and then it blew into a great business, and I love it. And I mean, it's great. But I do understand that not everybody who's in as a notary is about the people. They're about themselves. They're about trying to get that dollar, because they feel that it's a quick fix. They feel that, they see these people bragging about how much money they make. Okay, cool. But you got to still do good work. You still got to do the documents right. You still got to have good customer service. And a lot of notaries out here don't. They mean, they nasty. They don't treat people right. And that's not good. And it hurts us, it hurts you, when you have notaries out here who are all about themselves and not about doing what they are commissioned to do, which is provide a great service to people who need legal documents signed. And that's what this is all about. So, part of people, thank y'all. I'm gonna go pick my son up now, because he probably out here looking for me in his parking lot and he can't see me in this corner. But I'm gonna do a couple of more videos, and the next one is about systems. The systems that I have in place to help me manage all of this here stuff. All right, thanks, peace.